I almost want to wait for this to blow over, but if you following what's going on in Russia, looks like the Russian invasion is ending. The election is coming, and people want a fair way to overthrow the fucking government. That they actually respect the people, the will of the people, what elections stand for, and all that shit. And conveniently enough, 2 years after COVID's invasion starts, and 2 years after the invasion, it's probably going to be over very quickly. Probably fucking Putin might get slaughtered alongside with his whatever small fucking crew that he has acquired over the years, or they all just surrender because it's the will of the fucking Russian people. Putin might just get singled out, and fucking eliminated forever, as he's supposed to. You played your game, you played a little bit too long. Now you're just asking for eternal damnation to your life, whatever Russian people decide, to be honest. So, this story is playing out the end game for sure. There's no way they can be stopped. There's no way they will, let anything continue anymore because people are dying in this stupid invasion, and it's kind of pointless. If you cannot finish a job in 2 years, you are not doing any progress to begin with. But end of something simply merely means start of something else. And I call that purge. I call that European unrest period. Where every European pretty much will know what to do if they're true Europeans, if they're truly smart, and they understand that, just like myself, maybe you got locked up into your own prison cell, scared of everyone around you, and that is pretty just unacceptable. But in order to fight back, we'll have to fight for those 2 next years. Very, very tiresome battles. But every single time we win something, we win a lot. We win a permanent change in our country. So, yeah. Sounds like a big deal, right? Sounds like someone has to keep an eye on fellow Europeans and report what's happening during the purge and how intense the purge actually is. Because until changes do happen, the purge level will continue increasing. Nothing will stop that from happening. In fact, again, well, since Russians are shutting down their insane leader, might as well assume that something else has to take the spotlight. It is fascinating. Like, election happens like every 6 years in Russia. Some crazy shit. And it aligned perfectly. Putin had a choice to just poke the Ukraine and see what happens, see if they can take it over, but he started shredding his own people. And of course that angered very many people, and he didn't seem to care. So guess what's gonna happen to you, boy? Yeah, the only thing Russian nesting dolls know how to do is shrink in power constantly. The closer you get, just untangle the real. What's your real power level, Putin? Is this just one person? Do you not have any friends? We'll find out. I can't fucking wait to see what happens, what unfolds in the recent week or so, because that's the whole time frame. There's just a week left for this whole thing to blow over. There's also, a TikTok ban going through the first layer of oh my god, guys, we have to unanimously decide to ban TikTok on America. Americans wanted to do that, which is whatever. Who fucking cares? Except I do care about English-speaking people expressing themselves on this platform. So it is pretty annoying. See, this TikTok ban also kind of aligns itself with the purge, because if Americans withdraw from TikTok, there's only like Europeans left. Like Indians don't participate in TikTok. China does not participate in TikTok. You avoid Russians like plague because their language is fucking ugly. So, and their behavior is ugly too. And their people are ugly. No offense. It's just my observation. But you only have Europeans who will control TikTok, basically, if Americans withdraw somehow. That is fucking weird, isn't it? It's definitely going to be a part of the purge to use TikTok in some kind of fashion if it goes down like that. It's weird. Even though TikTok's probably not owned by Europeans, I'm just saying. So I'm not sure what the fuck is gonna happen if it gets banned. Which it probably won't get banned, because people gonna rise up the same fucking way and try and stop the government from doing stupid things like that. Like, at least give us that, you know, like prices are rising, you don't give a fuck about real estate being the luxury that everyone deserves, instead of being exploited through rent and more taxation of all kinds. Man, government wants to take that toy away from us. You know, our lives are already fucking screwed up, and our ability to escape, to use escapism into social media and to rant about our problems. Like, if they try to take that away from us, like, what the fuck's the point of that? But we're losing so much data to the Chinese, man. They collect everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's this also farmers thing going on. Everything's like coming together into one giant cluster of insanity, right? Everything is like waiting for the dominoes to start falling of a new thing happening that would blow everything over, simply because it's bigger and crazier than everything combined right now. It seems like everything is more of a shutting down move because something else is opening up. So this farmers' riot is still just a good idea or a good representation of what Purge actually is about. That everyone has powers, everyone is generating and farming some kind of resource, at least for themselves, and the only thing we need to do is like be able to share it, stand up for bullies who take away our resources, and improve ourselves as human beings overall. Because I'm fucking stuck in a room with my mom who seems to be crippled and doesn't know what to do with her life. It's kind of fucking annoying. And I don't know how to help her because I can barely like sustain myself and my own interest. Teaching her all the things that I know is not going to help her, is not going to incentivize her to do anything. The best I can teach her right now is fucking how to play Candy Crush. Yeah. Yeah. The world is predictable when people just have to do the right thing. People just have to solve the fucking problem. And when is the perfect time to solve problems happens, that's the predictable part, you know. So let's I mean, it's still not like officially the purge time. The purge is much more complicated. That even I have collected so much information, I still don't know. I still don't know much about it, because only when it takes action you can literally see it. Anyways, how much do we have to go through? Kind of these 5 layers. It's a lot, actually. We'll see. There's plenty, basically.
But they got tanks. They got tanks. They got armored personnel carrier. They have artillery support, rocket support, mortar support. They're clearly supported by the Ukrainian armed forces.
By Ukrainian armed forces. Wow. But it is kind of weird, but we'll see what happens. Like, hopefully nothing fucking weird. Several thousand in march into Moscow. Yeah. So Wagner Group also aligned with this interest clearly. It's just they didn't had enough like of a clear incentive to push forward like this.
If they can find friends over there, if they can recruit people that don't want to die in Ukraine for no reason, but want to fight for the freedom of Russia, if they can gain popular support among their own people.
Going through Belgorod, now through Kursk, there are heard explosions and shots, and the president of Russia indefinitely, because on March 17th, which is in about a week from now, they're going to be carrying their another, fake election where Putin just going to be pretty much just the one president-elect, just the one option on the bulletin board. He killed everyone else who was going against him. So these guys are trying to stop that.
Yeah, that is disgusting, bro. Like, clearly, it's a Russian roulette misfire at this point. You already have a savage in power that you have to overthrow because he's not gonna play fairly anymore. You can't do that. If you play unfairly, if you fucking rig the game, and you want people to die, that's a pretty fucking terrible intention, I'm not gonna lie.
Woman on TikTok right now who's a game developer, right? She spent the last 10 years developing a game. So she made the video crying that she released her game and then the game got buried down by all the other games. I know what you're thinking. Okay, cool. This happens to hundreds of games every day. Why is this important? I think it got like 1 million views. Now she's on the news. Her game is selling crazy. All because she cried on TikTok. I watched the TV interview and she somehow spun this around and made it about a women's thing. Bro, I looked at the game. The game is like a math game. The game is like a simple puzzle game type of thing that shouldn't even take 1 year, let alone 10 years.
Well, it is a woman's thing. I'm a woman game developer. Please, buy my game, please, guys. It's never fair. It's just how the fucking game works. You have to get to that next level to be able to actually advertise yourself as a game developer. You have to cry fucking wolf. You have to cry authority of some kind. You have to stand out and get hit by an algorithm of people who care, who think you are different than other people who you think deserves praise for completing a game after long progress of making it. Sure, whatever. We can only see the TikTok, we can only see the frustration of someone and not actually play their game. It's very unfair, I would say. It's unfair judgment. I don't like this sort of stuff. I like evaluating things. I like making things as fair as possible and as objective as possible. So of course it's unfair. It's not even a question. The real question is what we can do to game developers to improve their ability to express themselves and to build better games, get popularity, get people to try their games. The best thing we can do is build TikToks like that for tiny games, very, very tiny game TikTok. There's already that shit going on. On TikTok, you can like scroll and find filters that are like tiny games that you can play, like even 3-dimensional, where you just fucking park a car by clicking one button. It's fascinating that it's available, and game developers should be able to fucking get there and make a gaming TikTok or whatever. That's my own. The only solution is make more TikToks, guys. Is the only solution for anything. You want better Tinder experience? Make more TikToks for Tinder. I already found porn experience to be slightly amusing when done with TikTok, so that's kind of interesting. But I don't know. I probably will start shying away from porn. I'm not sure. Like, diving deep into it is really not my thing anymore. Because I've created my own. But not porn.
Take that.
Or substitute. My own sugar, bro.
Well, sorry, all your stuff is here.
I'm not sure what happened to TikTok, but it started giving me a specific spot of the video that I was watching at some point, somewhere, or where I stopped when it was looping. So that's a very weird new feature that kind of throws me off a little bit.
There is a sign on my door that says, "We are raising your rent." When my rent goes up, it's because some guy whose family bought this apartment complex in like 1950 just decided, "I'd like another $50 a month from Dan." And I'm not going to give him anything to justify that increase. I just want, you know what? Your landlord just wakes one morning.
It is pretty cringe. So the idea behind this TikTok is your owner of the apartment can raise rent, but they own the apartment and the apartment didn't like improve in quality. Nothing actually changed. They're not putting in more work. Capitalism is supposed to be where like you put in more work and you get more money out. But here it is, where you can just raise the rent prices without inputting more effort out of nowhere. How does that happen? That happens when you play Monopoly. When people are just stuck in their fucking homes and they cannot actually move around. And you just turn on the heat because rent happens in small prices, in small sums of money. In fact, it should be illegal to rent apartments. The only way it should be legal to rent apartments if you are slowly giving that shit away. If rent is just a way to pay for the apartments eventually, like in fucking 10 years, you basically own the place because you paid so much rent in 10 years. That's what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to own the apartment if a person used it for goddamn 10, 20 years. How the fuck do you own something that you don't use for 10, 20 years, bro, motherfucker? At the same time, you can increase the price of the said item that someone else is using right now. That is some fucking crazy shit, to be honest. Of like, oh, you like the item that I gave you? Let me fucking increase the heat. Haha. Now you don't want it. No, now you don't want it anymore, or do you want it? Eh? What if I increase the heat even more? Yeah, this is deep. This is very deep and intoxicating. And it's one of those purge level increased moments, which is going to happen a few more times in this video. Yep. Rent is bullshit, and we know that. I just didn't make an exclusive episode about rent being bullshit, but it digs deep. It does kill human beings, bro. It kills their ability to even function as human beings. If they have to pay rent and they barely can fucking do it. Like, excuse me. How does that make any sense? Another thing that would make sense if you want rent to exist, well, take a portion of someone's earnings. If they're renting a place, well, they happen to be poor, very likely, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're not poor. So just take like 10%, 15% of their, income, and good to go. Bye-bye. Chew on that. Now that requires to disclose how much you earn. And what would happen if you're jobless for that period? Well, what happens then, right? It's too complicated in that sense. A fixed price is somewhat of a more reasonable thing, but you should be able to negotiate that shit a little bit more. There should be some leeways, there should be some government, support for people, because, like, do you like homeless people, governments? Are you sure about that? Because you can create an army of homeless people and just attack whatever we fucking desire, bro. Do you really think it's that easy to just have homeless people around? Yeah, I mean, not so fucking easy. Like, I can literally fucking create an army of homeless people who will attack simultaneously every single fucking shopping center, and everything dies, bro. The entire town dies because fucking everything gets looted, bro. Are you this is what can happen. when you just have enough homeless people laying around, I mean, just like weaponize that shit. Turn them into fucking destroying Thors. Just homeless people. You think you need tanks and fucking bombs to destroy something? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. You just need some fucking people who aren't happy because of how the fucking life has treated them, because they got kicked out of their normal habitat where it's fucking calm and simple. Nah, bro. So people being turned into the ovens that they're sitting in, or getting kicked out, like, they're very dangerous, my friends. They have nowhere better to go but to straight to jail, and they're gonna, unite for a very interesting cause during the purge. This is guaranteed. This is the last straw that can be broken, because it's the easiest fucking thing to do, and it contains plenty of fucking violence, basically. So if the government really wants to, fuck around to find out, they have been warned. We do not condone violence, unless there's no other choice.
TikTok was like, hey, what's your zip code? We can give you the phone number and how to contact your representative. It was on your inbox. You could actually see it. It's going viral right now on TikTok. So now the representatives, they got flooded with phone calls and emails. I mean, so many people have called that the representatives who were supporting the bill are now backtracking because they're like, damn, bro, my constituents are pissed. Duh.
Yeah, and I also realized, like, Putin killing his opponents, making things unfair, unreasonable. Like, bro, if you don't like the spirit of competition, you're not a narcissist, you're a fucking criminal at this point. Like, a full-fledged competition has to be established. If you kill a person, we can kill you. It's how competition works. He declared that Putin is now a mortal being. He used to be immortal. He used to be a political person, very much immortal. Now Putin is a piñata, yet to be looted, basically. I can't wait to see.
Don't get banned because Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank is going to buy it. Listen.
Not going to get banned because I'm going to buy it. Somebody's going to buy it. It won't be Meta and it won't be Google because the regulator will stop that.
Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank, the enemy of the people, far more market share in social media. It would make the enemy of the people, Facebook, more popular. Now,
yeah. Okay, so Trump, there's plenty of people who try to save TikTok and treat it with respect. We'll see. This is some weird shit.
This gaggle of 535 of the richest, most powerful, welfare queens being paid on a government dime can agree on is that I can't watch fucking tiki-talkies.
Yeah, baby.
News from around the world. There's no mention of the fact that all of Paris has now been surrounded by farmers and farm equipment, taxis, and whoever else is joining the fight, and that they're barricading Paris? You don't think this is maybe front page fucking news? Or that
someone on this app finally talking sense, and they're on my level. I did a video yesterday about the news. How is that not on? It's still today. No mention of it. I have not seen anything mentioned on any news media platform at all. But hey, let's tell you Taylor Swift has never won Best Song at the Grammys. Or what about Facebook turns 20? But here's the best one. How to eat Five Guys for free. Actually, that's not a bad one. There was a pigeon in the news the other day what I did a video on. Been detained by police officers and released after 8 months because they thought it was a Chinese spy. How is that news? It's not news. People not winning Grammys and stuff is not news. So you got to think to yourself, why?
A man is posting on TikTok with his hairstyle. Guys, spread the news.
There are no media outlets putting this out there. Why is nobody talking?
A man is posting on TikTok but doesn't know what hairbrush is. Oh my god.
About it. I'm going to upload another video shortly showing you a supermarket in France.
A man is uploading 2 TikToks without realizing that hairbrushes exist.
Girl, all supposed to run.
Man, it pisses me off.
Breaking news, the Kellogg's boycott is working as the food and beverage company is having to...
At this point, buy it, bro. It's $1. Fucking buy that one.
Slash prices due to lack of sales. Let me tell y'all something. I cannot remember the last time I saw name brand cereal be...
But yeah, we getting robbed. It's pretty fucking disgusting.
99 cents? I don't even know if I've ever seen it for 99 cents, but as these people...
As I say, like, the best, most effective boycott is to buy cheap food, period. Find the cheapest food you can get, find the best quality. You have to mix and match the best and the cheapest things you can get. And we have to coordinate ourselves to achieve that. People still, even the fucking homeless guy who I follow, the homeless vlogs dude that shows what he eats in a day, he's like, oh, here's a fucking ramen noodles. Fucking little bitch, you pull ramen noodles on me, bro. We have a problem. You're gonna go back to being homeless, little bitch. Ramen noodles is one of the fucking stupidest foods you can have, and it's like heavily processed too. It's being heavily laughed at with people with microscopes of like, oh, look at all these worms. And I don't give a fuck about that. I just like look at the price. It's made out of wheat. It's literally bread with a little bit of a spice. That's it, bro. It's just very well designed bread that you can turn into a soup. Ramen noodles, boys. Wow, you have never fucking tasted soup before, haven't you? So this is how you have to operate. You have to very carefully pick the cheapest fucking shit, even if competition doesn't exist, even if everything is fucking rigged, basically. We still have to do our best to find the cheapest stuff and go out of our way, out of the box that is supermarkets, and find smaller places that sell anything at all. We have to support them as much as possible. For me, it's very difficult because I don't go nowhere outside of my fucking room, so I will just quickly jump into the supermarket. I'm not gonna explore new places. But I'm still tempted. The moment I have friends, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be exploring. This is the first thing we're going to be fucking doing. Exploring pizza shops, all that shit, seeing how cheap the food is, maybe making tiki-takis, bro. So we can send to that guy, you know.
Prescription drug. This gaggle of 535 of the richest, most powerful, welfare queens being paid on a government dime can agree on is that I can't watch fucking tiki-takis. Suck my...
Apple takes Epic Games sues Apple and says, hey, you're a monopoly. That's crazy. 30%? Apple says if you don't like it, go somewhere else. And they're like, where? You own the market, and therefore you get to set it, but 30% is pretty crazy. Apple says, go f*** yourself. Epic says, I'll see you in court. Epic sues Apple. Epic wins. And then the floodgates open. Remember how I talk about precedents, right? Precedents when a court case is, people are afraid of court cases. They like to settle out of court because if a ruling comes down, then it could change the game for everybody. Apple around and found out. Apple didn't lose any court cases for 2 decades, and then they lost one. And then the floodgates opened. And then the EU jumps in and says, hey, not only is that a monopoly, but everybody in the EU can now link outside payment systems. Or payments. They don't have to do the payments through the App Store. And so now everyone, including Spotify yesterday, said, okay, cool. You go onto the App Store, right? You go onto the App Store, and you go into our app, whatever the Spotify's little thing is. We're going to direct you to our site off platform, off of the App Store, so you could pay directly. Well, now Apple's mad. Apple found out that we talked about how Apple was probably going to fall a couple months ago.
Everyone wants taxation when they have a monopoly, they want to tax everyone. But it shouldn't fucking happen. It's not capitalism that owns authorities. Authorities own level 3. It's complicated, but this is how it looks like. The government sits here, even though, the regular construct is like this. So anytime a monopoly gets really, really, really big, they think they can just tax the market. When in reality, it's the authorities that decide. The court case gets opened and it wins against the monopoly. And it's like, well, you can't do that. You don't have enough power, and you will never have enough power. Even if there's an illusion that it's your thing, but that's your thing. You have been doing your thing this whole time. Now you have to be nicer to people and follow more rules. Thank you very much, Apple. Welcome. You'll follow rules now. And EU is very good at setting up rules. Just to let you know. Very good at least at throwing Trojan horse into the mix to accelerate the process of regulating Apple to a next level. The moment monopoly gets out of control, we have to fight exactly this way, and we have to let everyone know that's how you do it. That's how you do against every single monopoly. The way you dislike something, the way you get ripped off, you have to fight for that shit, because stealing money from people who genuinely try to build businesses and all that shit, who try to, live their lives properly, like how it was meant to be, and they getting ripped off by monopolies, like, no thank you. You have to fight for that shit. Absolutely. Good victory right there. This is gonna be a meme, by the way, once I can run it, because it fucking glitched out. Really? I no longer have internet, of course, right? Can't watch my TikTokies. Come on, TikTok. Don't be a little bitch. What's going on, man? When it glitches out, like glitches entire tab. I've never seen that before. Like, it doesn't even allow you to switch tabs anymore. Or like reload the tab properly. Alright, so let's try again.
This week, the relative humidity in China hit a staggering 100%. And honestly, I've never seen anything like it. Videos are coming out of people showing their walls and ceilings absolutely drenched, while others had to use window scrapers and even hair dryers.
Let me make it much more funny. It's gonna be way more funny, guys. So I literally released this 2 days ago as well. Pretty much. Or it blew up 2 days ago. Humidity. Get it? Moisture.
To try and remove the condensation. Some people even had to sleep with umbrellas, because even if you scrape off the water, it soon comes right back and starts dripping on you while...
What have you done, Moist Critical? What have you done to people in China? They're suffering right now.
The worst part's about being rich in your 20s. It's not all fucking sunshine and rainbows. 24 and I make a couple million a year. I know it doesn't look like it because I live like a fucking frat guy, but whatever. I don't really care if you believe me. Bad part number one is everyone wants a job. I have friends from high school asking for a job. I have family members asking for a job. I have complete strangers asking for me to give them a job. As if I just have jobs to hand out, like, here's $50K a year for you, $120K a year for you. Like, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, jobs are kind of like extreme cases, but you can give people tasks to see what they're capable of, if they're capable of creating profits of some kind, right? No, it doesn't matter. Like, money doesn't matter. He broke the system, basically. And now it's a struggle to just create a genuine lifestyle where, like, well, you're the man with money. What's next? What do I do? It's kind of cool. These guys just keep on posting of, like, what it's like to be rich, and it's pretty nice. And this is, gonna be met with a lot of brokies. That's Andrew Tate calls them brokies. And I sort of understand the attitude here. Because they want to feel good about themselves being poor and having problems. Like, bro, he's not gonna help you. This comment is not gonna help you. This is just painful to look at. Right? And having a lot of money is still a problem by any means. Because you should be motivated to like earn money in some kind of interesting way. You should be motivated to be better and to achieve that profit through doing the work that you like. It's a life achievement. It's a pretty big deal. It's something you can fight for. If you just break the system somehow, you found a way to break it, you're probably not going to enjoy your life that much as you thought you would just by having money. It's just potentially not how it works.
Although I've given a whole lot of opportunities to people, I still have people asking for stuff. And it's hard to say no, you know, because I'm a nice guy. Bad thing number 2 is there's too many expensive distractions that will make you go broke. Because you have the money, you can kind of buy anything, but once you start buying everything, then you don't have any money anymore. If you're making $50K a year, you're not gonna have a fleet of like regular ass cars, like where you have like a fucking Civic and a Corolla and a fucking.
And at this point, I'm stopped watching because like, shit. Now you're gonna talk about cars and luxury items. Sure.
Nice stuff.
Yeah. You get pressured into having nice things, into very expensive things, but what you have to do is get yourself very comfortable in life because you're not going to have regular brokey ass problems, and that's good enough. All right, that's a good enough achievement, and now you're focusing on something else entirely. You're just trying to retire, bro. When you have enough money, you just try to retire as quickly as possible because that's when the possibility, the opportunity to live a life happens. And you must understand that. The moment you buy luxury items or real estate is the time when you're going to get fucking piggy banked, destroyed basically for your cashews, extracted. You're going to go back in being a worker bee once more.
4% a year and make 120K a year for the rest of my life no matter what. That was my goal. And I said, as soon as I hit 3 mil, I'm going to retire. 120K a year is more than enough for what I need. Now that I've made a bunch of money in order to get to that number that I wanted, I realize it's not enough. And it's possible that nothing ever will be. So even if I get to 25 million and I can take out 4% of that and make $1 million a year, that might not be what I want. Because by the time I've made 25 million, I'm used to another higher level of income. So I'm just fucked every which way. So
yeah, I mean the ending is a little bit of a kind of a doozy. Increasing your standard of living, I don't know what that means, to be honest. I don't know how you do it. It's quite a mystery to me. And he doesn't seem to have like friends or increase the standard of TikToks that he makes. That's the fucking problem here. It seems it's at the same time very hypothetical what he's doing here. Very much the cheat code for this nice guy. Does he ever show items or just his own face? Is the question. Anything at all. Like, that's why it's very difficult to believe something like that. It's like, just flex a little bit.
I'm convinced that
participating in this activity could be very dangerous, guys. And you might get hurt if you show your car, bro. If you flex just a little bit, bro, on your TikTok.
What, 6 months away from being able to do whatever they want, bro.
Like, at least you fucking showed something. So that's something. You fucking glitched again. Man, TikTok, what the fuck's going on with your stupid fucking website? I can't want for TikTokies! Let's answer some comments before I dive into fucking ticket. Oh, nothing. I have been successfully canceled. Bro, just let me watch my TikTokies, man. Really, TikTok? Is that what we doing, bro? Watching Shades of Black? Yeah. Man, TikTok better fucking stop doing this bullshit. So I found a girl. I found some other shit. 5 new TikToks.
Why is such a big difference between the iPhone camera, Instagram Stories camera, and TikTok camera?
So I'm gonna skip to that difference.
And here is a picture I just took using TikTok photo. I could take my iPhone camera and Instagram. Why the fuck is there such a big...
And apparently Instagram makes you look terrible, and TikTok is kind of the best. I don't know, bro. I don't use cameras.
Give me a minute. Holy cow, what a day.
Yeah, so Russia is being attacked by drones from Ukraine, it seems. Because now they're trying to attack the supply chains of Russia and just and create havoc. It's like pretty smart move. Oil boys being cut off and cutting into profits. It seems okay. Fair enough. That's the girl in question, and that's the glitch in fucking third time already. I've never seen TikTok be fucking so glitchy. What's actually happening to some extent is potentially TikTok is eating up RAM like crazy and wants a specific type of RAM. I want this kind of RAM. Oh, you run out of that kind of RAM. I don't like you anymore. And just fucks me in the ass, basically. Man. Terrible.
You know why being a game developer sucks? Because you work 10 years on a project and pick a great launch date and get everyone hyped.
Yeah, I mean, this is a whole controversial drama thing that I'm building upon. Not only game development sucks, people suck at game development. They get sucked into the scam that is game development. Because what you have to do is has to be rewarding immediately. It's sort of like a hobby type of / work. Because you're trying to entertain other people. Like, I've seen a TikTok where a person is entertained by clicking a fucking button, bro. A fucking button. One button. You have one button and someone is fucking entertained by clicking one button. That's how fucking degenerate people are. And you have to tap into their fucking mindset like this. Start with a button. Start simple. Sell a simple idea and build upon that idea to the next level to see how many people actually care to follow you on your journey on making the game more complex. Next level, right? That if you can't sell a simple idea, you can't sell nothing. You can't build nothing. You don't have the marketing regardless what you do. This is why this marketing tactic worked for her. She just made a very simple TikTok, fucking 30 seconds. Very simple. And she enticed people. She throw a bunch of reasons of why you have to care about me right now. And that worked. All right, now we care about you. Congratulations, right? And whether it's controversial in some other ways, if the game is mediocre and all that shit, like, there's plenty of mediocre games. There's plenty of things to be mad about. But the idea is that it is very difficult to succeed in game development simply because there's so many moving parts. Just like before TikTok, it's very difficult to just go to YouTube and succeed. It's still very difficult right now. But you have TikTok to like support you on your journey. You have TikTok knocking on YouTube's door and being like, hey, give us YouTube shorts. We're competing right now. We're going to steal all your shit if you're not going to try and defend yourself. Because now everyone can just grab a camera and make something and make friends and type in comments even faster, find things they like even faster with a simple algorithm where you just scroll through. Again, it would be very helpful if there's TikToks for everything, for all kinds of material that you're searching. You just type in the search and you get random things that sort of correlate you just exploring a certain region of TikTok. So gaming region with potentially functional games, fucking girl region where girls are just dancing on TikTok and it's completely appropriate. Dude, I'm just looking for a girlfriend for my girlfriend collection, you know? You know how it goes. Or girl that's also a game developer where you can play with her. Okay. A bunch of like, there's gonna be tools that help all kinds of types of people, and you have to wait for that. But you also have to understand, what are you capable to do that's simple, that gives you instant success, right? What are you capable of doing so you don't have to fucking sit here and cry about it? This is why this is going viral. It's not about the fact that she needs your attention. She specifically needs your attention. It's the controversy that needs your attention. It's the fact that game developers get to suffer like this, and a woman tried and became emotional, and a woman is more trustworthy when it comes to expressing her emotions. And that's it. That's the whole controversy. It's just like a very lid open type of moment of this fucking rat race that game developers going into. But in my concern, a lot of them are just fucking idiots, basically, making some fucking crappy games that nobody cares about. Because we can't even discover and, like, attempt to play those games. There's no easy access. You have to download it, you have to find the fucking game, you have to care about the genre that you're choosing to play at. Like, the entry level to finding and supporting game developers is impossible. There's no bridge. There's no tiki-taki, bro, for that shit to happen. So, take a listen.
Hyped about it and build a bunch of marketing. And then EA can drop 11.
I was hoping there was, like, the only way is, like, I upload on Steam and I get people excited, but there's, this is saturated market by other games, and, like, EA big company can just steal my spotlights that I was hoping that I would get, you know, as a game developer who put in so much effort. It's very relatable fucking thing, and you don't want monopolies to steal your shit. Just like we already discussed.
Games right after you do, immediately, and bump you.
And we will discuss that even more, because there's the other drama. This is skibbity toilet drama of, like, monopoly faces. Just face alone can be a monopoly. Just Mr. Beast comes out of a toilet of, like, hey guys, watch my video. You know, I gave money to a random stranger for random reasons. Like, watch me, guys. You like money, don't you? That's what happens, bro. Mr. Beast comes out of a toilet and recruits a lot of people to care because he's the most popular skibbity toilet, and he's impossible to defeat. You've seen his face many times. The only thing that he needs to put on the thumbnail is his face in some kind of situations. Like, it's just that. It gets kind of fucking tiresome, like, people marketing themselves or brands marketing themselves like, hey, I'm the new EA game. It's just that easy for them to stand out, to do marketing because they have done it fucking thousands of times. They know how to fucking steal shit from other people. You know, they established. There's no rules necessarily regulating fresh monopolies. We have to fight for that shit ourselves.
You off of new and trending, despite the good reviews, despite people purchasing it, and just completely wreck all of your marketing.
Well, we trust big corporations to make good games, so shut the fuck up, am I right? I like SimCity. It's not, like, released, right? Dungeon Keeper? What the fuck? I don't know what these things are. I wouldn't fucking click on this shit. There's some mass-produced stuff that I would just avoid naturally, so it's definitely stuff like that. And, Potions, A Glorious Tale. I don't know, bro. Sounds like a pretty cool title instead of this generic cookie-cutter bullshit. You know, anything that sandwiches by Command and Conquer. Yeah, Command and Conquer is definitely a fucking ironic title right there. Command and Conquer. We gonna kick this little girl out of here. Yeah, EA. Get the you got wrecked. You got rectangulated. And there's Dungeon Keeper. You know, we're gonna lock her in the dungeon and Command and Conquer this thing. This shit happens, by the way. This is not a coincidence. This is fucking spiritual warfare.
Say hello to the return of disks, which are being developed to store petabits of data. Optical data storage was...
I'm not gonna let her explain because, like, wow, I don't want fucking disks. It's gonna be probably, like, a niche thing that only like big corporations use to store data instead of having like databases that are like giant databases. But we'll see, right? All these storages, just one fucking disk. If you can do that. But if it's convenient, if you can like sell a whole unit that reads that disk, if there's a whole storage device, I mean, storage is still a disk after all. We're not, when she showed this sort of graphic, that's not, we don't want this anymore. We don't want disks to pop in and out. Like, that's kind of fucked up. We already have like drives, right? Like hard drives, all that shit. And they are technically disks, right? In there. So if you can make a better disk, congratulations. Well, wow. Petabytes? Well, thank God. Finally I can put Lord of the Rings in that fucking disk. Because it doesn't fit anywhere else.
If this just happened, millionaires have not been paying their taxes.
Fucking Lord of the Discs.
Since 2017. This just released, okay? The IRS is sending out 125 notices.
Fucking millionaire purge is happening.
100,000 of those notices are for people making above $400,000 but less than $1 million who have not paid their taxes since 2017, and 25,000 are millionaires. They have not filed nor paid their taxes. How much money? Billions of dollars. What ends up happening, and again, you can read this for yourself on Google, or you can see the videos here on TikTok. Millionaires just forget to pay, and they say, I'll worry about it next year. Forget to pay, I'll worry about it next year, and the next year. Old IRS agents who are now retired said that most millionaires back in their day would sometimes wait 15 to 20 years before paying all their back taxes. It got so bad, mind you, that prior to the $80 billion relief that IRS got to hire more people, there was an estimated $180 billion of unpaid taxes floating around from all of America's top 1%. And now it is just as bad since 2017. Millionaires and people making over.
Well, let's see what happens.
Just
More
say we
to
gave
do.
them the tanks.
Alright, so we got the full scope. Man, too much shit is happening already. Too much shit. And it's all, like, somewhat interconnected, as you can tell. Like, I'm always linking back to my dramas, to the purge, all that shit. Alright.
My wife sent me this meme about guy math. It said that if a guy buys a tool, and the tool saves you time, time is money, therefore the tool is free. And I said, no, that's stupid. It works more like this. There's a job that needs doing, but you need a drill to do it. So I buy a drill. Let's say the drill cost $100. And if we had hired somebody to do the job, that would have also cost $100. So by buying this drill and doing the job myself, this drill is free. But that's not...
Yeah, that's a big aspect, basically, of learning to do your own shit. Whatever you have to do, you just learn to do your own shit. And you might just pick up a skill that's very useful for everyone else around you. Who the fuck knows, right? Now, probably don't want to be an electrician and toy with that shit, because it's going to be fucking... I want to call it deadlifts, but you're more likely to die from that shit than from the actual deadlift. Deadlift of responsibilities. Playing with electricity, bro, no need. But some like basic refurbishing of floors, of fucking painting walls and all that shit. And adding some accessories that help you fucking deal with noisy neighbors. That would be very helpful. If you can do that, if you can pick up some skills here and there, fix some things, that's also going to save you time. because that's fucking worth it. And you having the skills, most importantly, acquiring the skills, not just the tools, the skills, acquiring it also is going to pay for itself. It's really cool stuff that you cannot, you should have learned. I should have learned. I should be learning right now. I'm too fucking lazy. Save me. Talk for me, please.
That's not the end of it. For every subsequent job that I use this drill then gains value. $100 here, $150 there, $75 over here. Every little.
Yeah, you don't want to become helpless. Like, this is a very powerful move.
Little project adds up. Before you know it, this drill is worth about $10,000. So really, this drill paid for all these tools too. And every time I use those tools instead of hiring somebody, they gain value. I don't know why she keeps telling me I'm bad with money. This place is a gold mine.
Well, as long as you keep working. But yeah, it's a gold mine. That's really fucking that's really powerful TikTok, bro. Holy shit.
Has a word for someone who believes that they are smarter than everyone else, who needs to always be right and loves to correct others.
I mean, we also have the word. It's called smartass. Because technically we can call those people assholes who just invade your self-esteem because they think they're smarter than you. That's an asshole right there. Or a smartass.
It's klugscheißer. It combines klug, smart.
Yeah, smartass. What's the difference, bro?
And perpetuating fear into your own life. You're actually making your...
Okay, we already skipped 20 seconds for mysterious reasons. This is going to be the last one I watch. Thank you guys for watching me.
You know what the craziest, most frustrating part of becoming an adult is? That nobody ever really talks about.
It has been proven that the human brain cannot distinguish between something that has actually happened and something that's being imagined. It does not know the difference, and we don't talk about this enough. This means that if you're constantly thinking about being sick, worrying about your health, and perpetuating...
Or if you're constantly thinking about Ariana Grande, she's manifesting slowly. Then shows up in your dreams and becomes that much more real every single time. You know, step in that direction, guys. Same goes with sickness, apparently. So placebo is not so funny after all, isn't it? It's actually more powerful than any medical science that was generated ever. Just placebo, just motivation alone. Just imagination. It's powerful enough to just lift you off from a shitty life, it seems.
Fear into your own life. You're actually making your body go through...
And yes, fear is a big deal. Like, it's called fear and love. The two polar opposites, the darkness and light. And you try to leech off light as much as possible, because fear and love are both energies that manifest things. Fear, it will immediately manifest something out of it. If you fearfully attack someone, it's going to manifest into a fear. If you attack someone out of love, you will end up hugging out and making new friends and all that shit. Like, it's a very different thing that happens when a fear manifests and when love manifests. And this constantly happening, this constant cycle of manifestations, whatever you allow to happen. So not only placebo works, but it's what kind of life you want to lean on to. Do you want more darkness or more light? You have to constantly chase for the light. And light is like pretty much everywhere. You can talk to any person. You have plenty of choices to chase the right things. So carry on. And again, those small decisions that add up, the decisions that you do in day-to-day lives instead of talking to doctors or authorities of any kind, this is what's going to empower you in the end. This is what's going to set you free.
Through the physical experience of it. And the crazy part is this can actually cause disease progression within the body. Our bodies believe...
And then ask me what cancer is. See you guys next time.